Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast, and I'm here to present you my NBA picks for Thursday, March 22nd. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. And if you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing every single night, visit our website at www.rotobeast.net. Solid night tonight for the money team. Definitely, we made some money on Fanduel and DraftKings. Hit our double ups. Things have been really well for the money team. Last Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, we hit for 35,000. Yes, 35,000. If you don't believe me, visit any of my social media accounts at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at RotoBeast. Check them out. My results are there. I have no reason to lie. So yeah, the money team has been doing very, very well. We got $60 for the rest of the NBA season plus playoffs. Great deal right now. So make sure to take advantage of that. We got our MLB pre-order special going on right now. We got about 10 spots remaining. Then we got to cap it off. Too many spots equal too much sharing of money. So we got to put that cap on there. So make sure and jump on that on our website. If you haven't already, please make sure and click that like button below. It really helps us out when you drop a like, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, let's just jump into this slate. So we got 3 games that we know things about, 3 games that we don't know things about. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think this slate is absolutely horrible. I really don't like it very much at all. We're going to be waiting on tons of news tomorrow. So we're just going to go through it quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So we'll start with what we know. First, we got the 76ers going into Orlando to face the Magics. This game has a 213 implied total. 76ers are favored by 7. Then you got the Hawks going into Sacramento to face the Kings. This game has a 212.5 implied total. Sacramento is favored by 2.5. Next, we got the Jazz going into Dallas to face the Mavericks. This game has a 198.5 implied total. Jazz is favored by 8. And then you also got the Lakers going into New Orleans to face the Pelicans. The Pistons going into Houston to face the Rockets. And lastly, we got the Grizzlies going into Charlotte to face the Hornets. So that's kind of where we're at game-wise. Let's jump into these picks. As always, we'll start off at point guard. Chris Paul, he's game time decision tomorrow with the hamstring. My honest opinion is that I think he's going to sit out tomorrow just because it's too close to the playoffs. You don't want to risk him, playing, and they already got the first place seed pretty much locked up, and them hurting it even more. You might as well get some rest and get ready for the playoffs. If he does play, he'll be a solid play, but if he's out, then you definitely got to look at James Harden and Eric Gordon. Then you can look at a guy like Rubio. I mean, I know his price is up. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the price neither. You need 37 for him to hit value. But the guy's just been on fire. If you look in the past 7 games, I mean, there's only one game he got you 22. Besides that, he's got you at least 34. So he's giving you a high ceiling right now. And then he's going against, Dallas, who are just absolutely terrible. You got Schroeder. His price absolutely jumped up quickly. Coming off a monster 50 fantasy point game. Going against Sacramento. Sacramento is actually favored in this contest, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I think the Hawks are a little bit of a better team. And I really like Schroeder. I think his minutes are pretty steady. So I'm definitely going to look at him for GPPs. You got Lonzo Ball going against New Orleans. He's going to be going against Rondo defense. You need 35 for him to hit value. He's averaging 34 on the season. So I definitely think he's in a solid spot as well. The good thing about Lonzo is he's a guy, he only scores, 6 to 8 to 10 points a game, but he does everything else, so it makes up for it. And when he has those monster scoring nights, it just is absolutely awesome. Then we can look at a guy like De'Aaron Fox. For the most part, he's playing close to 30 minutes a game, and he's been playing very well. I mean, besides one game, he's got you at least 23 fantasy points. He's averaging about 23 fantasy points on the season. At this 5.7 price tag, for him to hit value, we're gonna need about 28, I would say. But I mean, it's a shallow, slate. So we can't be too picky. I do like him in this spot. Shooting guard, we'll start with James Harden. Like I said, if Chris Paul's out, he's an absolute lock, no matter what. Mark my words. For him to hit value, you need about 58. He's averaging 53 on the season. I'm just going to go ahead and put him in as my core. I don't think that Chris Paul is going to play tomorrow. I'm really liking James Harden. Then you can look at a guy, Drew Holiday's all right, but his price tag is crazy high. He's coming off a sickness. The Pelicans have played like 4 games in 5 nights or something crazy like that. So I know these dudes are tired. Even though he got 1 day off, he's still going to be a little bit, Lakers are a good matchup, though. Don't get me wrong. You got Mitchell going against Dallas. You need 40 for him to hit value. He's averaging 33 on the season. I mean, he's got you at least 37 in 4 of the past 5 games. So I mean, he's been doing very well. I think he's one of the better plays on the upper end of shooting guard. Then we're gonna go with a guy like Caldwell Pope. Price tag keeps dropping. He keeps playing tons of minutes. I know he's not doing nothing special, but I think that he's a very good cash game play. I mean, gives you a solid floor. He's been playing very well. You need 27 for him to hit value. He's averaging 27 on the season. Then you got to look at Eric Gordon. I mean, if he's going to start because Chris Paul's out, this guy has monster upside at a 4.7 price tag. We seen earlier in the year when he started when Chris Paul was out, and this dude was absolutely going bananas. I mean, it's like I said, if Chris Paul's out, I definitely think you could put Harden and Eric Gordon in your shooting guard spot and, not be too worried about it. So I do like Gordon. Lastly, we're going to go with the guy like Bogdanovic. He's expected to come back tomorrow. The price has dropped. Going against the Hawks, whose defense is, honestly, in my opinion, absolutely trash. For him to hit value at this price tag, you need about 24. He's averaging 22 on the season. Next, we'll move on to small forward. You got Terry and Prince. I mean, this guy's crazy high price tag. You need 37 to hit value. But look what this dude has fucking been doing. I mean, in the past 5 games, he had a dud against Utah, which is a tough matchup. But before that, 57, 46, 40, 51. I didn't even know this guy had upside like this. And then for him to go off 4 straight games like this, that's just absolute crazy. So, I mean, it kind of caught my eye a little bit going against Sacramento, who's a young team, not very good. So I like him. Then you look at a guy like Joe Ingles. The minutes are there for the most part. He's been playing very well, very solid. You need about 32 for him to hit value. He's averaging 25 on the season. Next we will go to, we got Covington going against Orlando Magic's up-tempo game. This is a game where he can get tons of steals. We know he's a really good player. I mean, he's kind of been playing up and down now, but for the most part, I mean, he gets his minutes. That's what we do got to trust. I really like this matchup in the up-tempo game. So I definitely think he's in a great spot. More of a GPP play, though. Then you look at a guy like Harrison Barnes. I mean, when you're talking about consistent, that's what you get from him. I know he's going against the Jazz, a pretty good defensive team, but the price tag is actually down because of that. You need 28 for him to hit value. He's averaging 30 on the season. I think that you could put him in your cash games and not be too worried about it. Lastly, we're going to look at a guy like Kazonia. I mean, this guy, if Simmons is out, I think he's going to take that starting role right there. He's a guy that we know when he gets minutes, he can fill up the stat sheet. He does a little bit of everything. He can get hot from the field, put up a 40 fantasy point night. The price tag is just cheap. You need 22 for him to hit value. He's averaging 18 on the season, so just keep an eye on news for what's going on with that. We'll go to power forward, Anthony Davis. Like I said, the Pelicans are scaring the shit out of me because they're like 4 games in 5 nights or 5 games in 6 nights or some crazy shit like that. And this guy, I mean, he has to be tired. Don't get me wrong. But he's young. I mean, that's at the same time. He hasn't, in the past 3 games, even though they've been playing a ton, he's still got your 56, 55, 60. And this matchup against the Lakers, I mean, he has 80 fantasy point upside. Don't get me wrong. It's just how his legs are feeling. Are they feeling jello? Is he all right? At this price tag, you need 63 for him to hit value. He's averaging 54 on the season. Like I said, I mean, he has just as much upside as anybody on the slate. Like I said, the only thing that's scaring me is just the games that he's been playing consecutively. You got Blake Griffin in an up-tempo game going against the Rockets. The guy's been playing well for the most part. The price tag's fair. You need 45 for him to hit value. He's averaging 40 on the season. If Chris Paul's out, I think this game stays a little bit closer. I'm not saying they're going to win, but definitely a little bit closer, and I'll definitely like Blake in this spot. You got Julius Randle, up-tempo game against New Orleans. I mean, this guy's just been on a tear, and his price tag is just staying right there. You need 37 for him to hit value. He's averaging 30 on the season. But in the past 5 games, he's got you at least 35 with a 70-point burger. So it's like, man, he has the upside. You got Kuzma playing a tons of minutes at small forward. As long as Ingram's out, then I really like him. If Ingram comes back for some reason, I don't expect him to, then you got to kind of, look a little bit more into it. But you need 31 for him to hit value on his price tag. He's averaging 27 on the season. And we know Kuzma definitely has 45, 50 fantasy point upside. Then we can look at a guy quickly like Saric. I mean, the price tag is down. Up-tempo game going against the Magics. I mean, his minutes are fluctuating a little bit, but, for the most part, if the game's going to stay close, if it's an important game, he's going to play close to 30 minutes. He's averaging 28 fantasy points on the season. He needs 29 to hit value on this price tag. So I definitely think he's a solid play. And the GPP-wise, I think you look at Mirotic. I mean, another New Orleans going against the Lakers. I understand. But the guy has upside. He hasn't been playing the crazy minutes like some of the other guys, and they're going to maybe need to look for some scoring somewhere else. You need 27 for him to hit value. He's averaging 29 on the season. And like I said, I mean, he has 40-point upside. So definitely Mirotic is a solid GPP play. We'll go to center. For me, this is a GPP play just because, I mean, the price tag's up there. 55 for him to hit value. I'm like, man. But, I mean, it's something that he can do. Don't get me wrong. It's just, do I really want to pay that for him? So GPP for me, but he is gonna give you a solid floor. Then we'll look at Drummond going against Houston. Very up-tempo game. I mean, I think this game fits him good. The only problem is he's going to be going against a good defender in Capella. But, I mean, I like him in this spot. I definitely think he can have a solid spot. His price tag is up as well. A lot of these centers are overpriced, to be honest with you. You need 50 for him to hit value. He's averaging 45 on the season. He's only got you 50 one time in the past 5. So, definitely just be a little bit more careful. Gobert, another center. He's overpriced. But he's giving us all floor. You got to love big men going against the Mavericks. I mean, for his price tag, you need about 47. He's got you at least 41 in 4 of the past 5 games with the 36 against Atlanta. So I do like him. You got Vucevic going against Philly. We know Vucevic had 50 fantasy point upside. The price tag is up on him too, especially for what he's been doing lately. Going against Embiid, it's not the best matchup. I think he's a GPP play, but I do like him. Next, we will go to Capella. I mean, this guy, lately he's been frustrating me. The minutes are a little bit up and down, but they're going to need him on the floor. For sure, they're going to need him on the floor to be going against Andre Drummond. He's a guy that, his price tag is actually down a little bit. You need about 36 for him to hit value. He's averaging 35 on the season. I mean, he had a couple duds in there, but besides that, I mean, we know this guy has upside. I think he's a fair price. Lastly, I'm going to talk about a guy. Where's he at? He's hiding from me. Oh, Dwayne Dedmon. The past 2 games, going against Sacramento. The past 2 games, he's got you 31 and 29 minutes. He's got you 30 fantasy points and 46 fantasy points. This guy has upside. I mean, he's got 40 a couple times this season. Don't get me wrong. And at this price tag, you need about 28. He's averaging 24 on the season. If he's going to start and play close to 30 minutes, I definitely think that you got to consider him. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with these picks. Before I jump into this, these core plays, please, if you don't mind, make sure and click that like button below. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. And yeah, let's just get into these picks. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm picking people that I'm not necessarily comfortable with in this slate. This slate is just kind of one of those slates, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with I like Lonzo Ball going against Rondo. I definitely think this is also a spot that Rondo could definitely sit out. James Harden, I mean, I like him. I'm just going to keep it simple. Small forward, we're going to look at a guy like, let me see. I mean, I like a guy like Kazonia. If he's going to start, like I said, we got to pay attention to news. But if he's going to start tomorrow, then I definitely think that you got to give a look to him. Let me see the status really quick on Simmons. So Simmons is downgraded doubtful for tomorrow. So that looks like Hazonia will definitely jump in there. So keep an eye on that. Power forward. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the well. Go with my boy Randall. I think he's a great price. And then, I mean, you can go Randall. You can even go Kuzma. I like both of them. I like this game a lot. Then we're going to go off to center. We're going to finish it off. I'm going to go with a guy like Capella. Give you 5,500 kind of to play with. This is something that I'm really liking. And, tomorrow, depending on news, I'll comment in the section below and kind of get you a general idea if I'm going to switch these 5 core players. So make sure that you got your notifications on so you don't miss that out when I do post that. So, yeah, hey, let's make some money. I'll talk to you later. Make sure to hit up our website. Make sure and drop a like. Peace.